Cancer and its confusing names. That's what we want to talk about today. The Bard of Avon once said, "What's in a name?" Well, actually, he didn't say it directly. He makes his character Juliet say it. That which we call a rose by any other word would smell less sweet, she says. But alas, when it comes to cancer, it's neither sweet nor simple. There's a lot of confusion about the name. There are many terms used for it, and all of them can overlap. So let's start by analyzing these terms. We are familiar with the simple term cancer, which means the crab. There's even a constellation in the skies by that name. But then there are tumors, which are sometimes spelled with Tumour and sometimes spelled Tumor. That all depends on which side of the Atlantic Ocean you're sitting on. Whether you are in England or in America, the spelling changes, but the pronunciation is the same. But you might also have heard of neoplasia and of malignancy. They all refer to cancer. And to make things a bit more complex, there are oncologists and oncology. So today we're going to talk about what all these words mean, where did they come from, why do we have so many different words for one disease, and how to simplify it. Let's start with the tumor. So, as we said, the tumor could be spelled in two ways depending on whether you are English or American. But what does it mean? The meaning of tumor is any new growth of cells which makes a lump in any part of the body. So, any new growth in any part of the body. In other words, it's just a posh way of saying a lump in Latin. Now, tumors are different. Not all tumors are cancer. And this is a little bit technical. And if you allow me to explain, I would simplify it. Whether you are talking about tumor in English or American English, it is a new growth of cells making a lump in any part of the body. But this new growth may or may not be cancerous. The lump in the body, if it stays where it is, it's known as benign. And this is not dangerous. And this is not cancer because it's not causing any destruction and it's not spreading. However, if that lump in the body starts to invade, destroy, and spread to other parts of the body, we call it malignant. Now, this tumor, which is spreading to other parts of the body, is an invasive tumor and is technically a cancer. So, when we talk about cancer, malignancy, and an invasive tumor, we are talking about the disease, which can cause morbidity and mortality. Neoplasia is another term, which is a combination of two Greek words. Neo means new and plasma means creation. And the definition of neoplasia, bear with me, a new growth of cells making a lump anywhere in the body. Sound familiar? Yes, because it is. It's the same thing as a tumor. So in English, a new growth would be called tumor in Latin and a neoplasia in Greek. It's just a difference of languages, meaning the same thing. The Greeks, however, never called cancer neoplasia. They had a different term for it. They called it karkinos, which means a crab. And the Latin, the Romans, they translated it into cancer, which is crab in Latin. But the Greeks also had another name for a lump. They called it onkos, a swelling. So oncology became the study of cancers, and oncologist became a doctor who treats cancer. So you can see the confusion. The disease is cancer, but the study is called oncology, and the doctor who treats it is called an oncologist. But we can't blame the Greek for it. Why on earth did all these confusing terms come around? And the answer lies in the pages of history. So, once upon a time, long, long ago, literacy was not very common. Not everyone could read and write. And people who could read and write, they were usually very rich and posh and aristocratic, and they would like to keep themselves aloof, keep themselves above the rest of the people who could not read and write. So they used technical terms and Latin and Greek words like karkinos and onkos. And if they were physicians, they would talk about neoplasia and cancer. Whereas the common folk who were illiterate, They would use simple English terms. They would call these swellings a lump or a bump. For our purpose, we'll stick to one word, that is cancer. So we won't confuse it with other things like neoplasia and malignancy and tumor. We'll keep it very simple in our effort of killing cancer kindly. You're listening to Dr. Khan. Our mission is to understand, prevent, treat, and cure cancer. Thank you for being a part of this effort. Together, we can reduce the risk of cancer by 50% and stop half of the cancers from happening. May you and your loved ones stay healthy and live long. Till next time, goodbye.